Shravanya and welcome to the podcast. And today I'll be hosting a conversation with somebody whose work I find genuinely fascinating. She is one of the managing directors and the co-founder of Elacons SA Private Limited, which is based in Elacons, Tamil Nadu, and they're doing something really important in the medical supply chain. Please welcome Mrs. Sonal Joshi to the podcast, whom I also happen to know personally, and I call her Sonal Auntie. So thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you. So,
Could you please introduce yourself?
sure. I'm Sonal Joshi, born and brought up in Calicut, just in Kerala. I did all my education. My education there, and then I worked in other communities altogether. And joined my husband's business in 1990 started. And we got married in 92, and since then we for working. We initially used to manufacture ultrasound gel, CG gel, and disposable like masks and aprons and all. We did that for a long time, and then we shifted to distribution of surgical instruments made in Germany.
So I was just about to ask for anyone who don't know what Elacons is, like, could you enlighten us about the leadership from there?
Regarding Elacons SA, we were looking at giving life to the good humans where they can have the medical facilities and everything. So we brought in very specific instruments which are genuine from company in Germany. They are based in Brooklyn. The company name is Brooklyn. We have contract with them last 35 years. Till today, we supply to students in Tamil Nadu
That's amazing. So from what I know that Elacons was incorporated in the 1990s.
Yes.
So what led you to incorporating a company in that specific way? Was it something gradual? Did something specific like you should just
It's like family business of my husband was incorporated. And in 1990, thought of moving to Belgium. It was based in China. His sister was working with a couple of hospitals in the video. So we thought of joining some medical field. And we took up manufacturing of gels, which was like very difficult situation for him, where he had to get into the formulas and manufacturing and that. We went to really good on that. And then the market was really competitive. And then we stopped manufacturing those items and we started concentrating on surgical instruments, which are specialized for minimal invasive surgery. It's all important. The patients will be cured by the doctor using the instruments.
It's very interesting. And the most fascinating part about this work is the supply chain, which I feel like is the core of the business. And what you built logistically is not something simple to achieve.
We were actually started business in Thailand. And then we were manufacturing gel and all that initially as a product. And then the market was becoming really competitive. And we thought of getting into some other products. That's where we came across the surgical instrument. And they are made in Germany. So when we met the company, it's the name of the company is Brooklyn, and they are based in Brooklyn. And we had a meeting with them. And we met, it was like a family. The business itself is like a family business. And we went across the factory. We found their instruments, they were very, very good. And then we started making instruments from them. And it was not an easy journey. It was really difficult journey because bringing these instruments to Indian market we have to meet the doctors or to go to the hospitals, and they will ask them with some samples. So we have to give them the instruments, they will use them, and then they will approve these instruments are really good. So for example, you take the instruments we have for different kinds of departments, like you take liver transplant, kidney transplant, cardiac, general surgeries. We have all varieties of instruments, everything made in Germany. Why I tell Germany? Because their instruments are made out of stainless steel. They are very good quality. And all the instruments are handmade instruments. Very fine things are being taken care by making the instruments. And so we took them and then we gave it to the doctors, and after like that they started working. So once they started using the instruments, they will tell the other colleagues and all that. And then the colleague will also contact us, and then we supply. That's how we started supplying to many places in India, like in Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Andhra, Telangana. When we went up north also, we supplied in Delhi also, Ames, Delhi, which when we have to supply to them, we have to go through the tender. We have to go to the JIPMA tender portal and supply to them through.
So that was my follow-up question. I was about to ask them why Germany is specific value to choose. And the answer which you gave was it makes sense. And it's something likely to see that Germany does also specialize in surgical instruments and is really study. And it's really smart to like offer that. And I would like to ask, because medical, when it comes to medical supplies, right, the product just can't be from like a cheaper source, and because it is used for the betterment of the patient. So how did you figure out who to source from, and how did you manage your relationship with these sources for the past few many years?
See, now for example, why we chose Germany was their products are genuine. When they say it is made out of stainless steel, it is made out of. And if you go to other country, take example as China or Pakistan, they make duplicate products where it will be made not with the stainless steel, cheaper material, and the costing also will be very less. So some hospitals want to check on the costing, they will try these products, but finally they will say no, these products are not good, they are damaging fast, quality is very bad. So they come back to us and we give them our instruments and we give them warranty for the instruments, and then if anything happens between 3 years of warranty, we give them that we will change it or give you a new product free of cost. That's how it is a one-on-one relationship with the doctor and so they really say that the products are genuine and it is made of a stainless steel. That's how we were able to make doctors really comfortable by using our
That's amazing. And I would like to know the whole journey of from when a product like the audience base to it reaching the medical details. So what is that whole process like? Because I feel like there are about 15 steps in that whole process and people are not even aware about what happens there. So I would like you to like explain us what the whole process.
Yeah, so we import the surgical instrument from Germany, and once the doctor or the hospital gives the order, and it is not necessary that all the instruments are ready in the so they have to go through whether they have it in the stock, or they have to leave it to the game, and whether they are in their holiday courses or whatever, they have to check all those things. And then they say that it will not take 2 months. So we have to go. We have to tell the hospital also that we are going to be patiently because sometimes we come. And once everything is ready, it's being shipped to India and it comes to the Hyderabad. Once it reaches the Hyderabad port, we have to do all other duties, all those formalities we are talking. And once the custom duty and everything is over, we get the instrument in. And once all the instruments are found, it's not that only one hospital order comes. Many hospital orders come to, which will come to us. We have to segregate them and then supply to the respective hospitals. It can be Mumbai, it can be or Bangalore, So we pack them and we supply to the best services, do that for the service where it reaches the hospital on time, secure. So we supply it to them and it reaches the hospital. Once it reaches the hospital, then they are happy, they will use the instruments, and then they send the product to our reached and whatever it is, fantastic. That's how the journey goes on. And sometimes what happens is instrument might be slightly damaged because of the transportation. Then again we have to collect that, send it back to Germany, get it repaired, and they get it back. So it is not that our journey gets over in. So there are, and some instruments are packing, some damages would have happened, or something would have happened. That's all it is.
Yeah, so I really like for that because on top of all of this, you're also looking at documentation, compliance, and making sure the products are reaching the regulatory standards before it goes anywhere near the patient, right? And I feel like most of the people who are trying to get into this field or this the industry, they underestimate this part of the back end processes. When you and Uncle first started incorporating this company, did you guys ever underestimate the process or were you always aware of this?
No, we were not aware of that. It is a journey. So you learn with your journey and everything. Since 1990 it was formed of manufacturing of gels and everything. We were only concentrating on that and few little products, thermal papers and all those things. But then we thought the business is really going down, there's too much of competition, we can't do anything, no profit was happening. But we thought, okay, let us concentrate on some other product. That's why we came across surgical instrument. Before it was only for general surgery, then we came into special instruments, like laparoscopic instruments, where doctors really like them. So we thought of getting into Germany.
Right.
Their products are really good, as I told you, they are genuine listings. Yeah. That's how it went. And regarding my husband, his background of work is totally was different. Family business was totally different. And in 1990, he came to Hyderabad, and then he decided to do something on the food supply chain. That's how he got into manufacturing of gel. Why he got into the medical businesses? His sister was working at Apollo Hospital and she was in Hyderabad. So then she told, okay, why don't you come to Hyderabad and you can try out something on medical lines. So that's how we got into this. And the journey started from 1990. I joined him in 1992. Since then, we are working together. I used to help him when we did the gel and see how to go about the factory. So it was a very tedious journey, but beautiful journey. So we worked together. And then we decided to have a family also. But we thought of having a foundation of a good business together, then a family. So we are blessed with 2 children.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, that and even though the whole process sounds pretty complicated, but it's beautiful how you do the whole journey for me and I feel like that's something which we could all learn upon. And I want to ask about the part where you thought everything was falling into place and you were like, oh, okay, all of this is working out. What was that moment there?
Yeah, so the gel work was really a messy work. So then I was just telling my husband, I call him PC. I was telling PC that why don't we do something about this messy work? Because I and few of the workers in the factory had really tough times, not an easy thing, So mix the items and then keep it under the machine, runs for 1.5 hours, then becomes gel, and then you put it in the filling machine, then it goes into the bottles of 250 grams, and then seal them. It was a really messy work. It was nice. All the small diagnostic sample was like gel so much. The ultrasonologist in the way when we used to have in 5 kg package collapsible cans. The doctors used to like them so much after using the gel. They will clean the total gel from the pack and they will use for the water also. So it becomes the 5 liter can or water can. Yeah, then we decided to get into the surgical instruments thing. That's how we came across Dufler, which is based in Germany. And we started using their instruments, taking them and supplying to the hospitals, as I was telling you about this lab. That's how our journey started, supplying to the different hospitals in all over India.
So that's when it took a turn and everything was falling in place. Okay.
And then in 1996, my elder son was born. And then I took a pause, started taking care of the baby. I told my husband that give me 3 years of time. Then I started taking care of home. And we kept a manager who was looking after the business. And then again I joined. Again I joined. Started working again. So it was not an easy journey. I had to take a local bus, reach the office, with taking the lunch with me because he was in the school by that time. He was down to the office. Evening, we all used to come back home. That's how the journey started with him. In 2002, my younger son was born. Again, I took a break for 3 years and I joined. From then on, with the company until like in 2004, again I joined and from that time and with the company. So it's not like we supply to hospitals, we have to check on the invoicing being on the documents are being reaches the instrument reaches and sales. Packing also I was taking. The journey goes on till now also.
That's very beautiful. And I feel like that's something which doesn't make it into a business plan or a presentation, but it's always one of the core reasons why the business exists. And I'm going to ask you a certain question, and I want you to be honest about it. I want to know if you've had any like difficulties facing with regards to the company, and I'm not telling difficult in a way that you thought it was a learning experience or a learning curve to learn, but in a way that you've had sleepless nights and where you genuinely were not sure how this was going to work.
I never had any sleepless nights. I used to sleep right well because in business, ups and downs will be there, which you have to face. And we have gone through all that. It's not that we are through with it. Ups and downs like the sea waves. We have ups and downs in life. So that's nice for me. Money matters, there'll be some issues and because we have to pay 100% in advance to the company. And hospital will give us only 50% in advance and after the delivery of the unit, they give us mostly plans. We are okay with it.
Perfect. So, like, even if there were any ups and downs, it's very inspirational how you keep pushing forward and you don't give up. And that's something that we all learn on. And I would like to know your definition of what Elacons is, because I feel like the way you define your own company influences a lot of decisions which you make for the company.
Yeah, so we are very, very clear on the quality of our products. Never to compromise on the quality. That's how our business keep going on. That's how we feel that the best thing about it. Another thing is the quality we talk about because our company, the parent company, also genuine one, which gives us the genuine products, so we can give the quality about it, never to compromise. We can go out of the way to give the doctors out of 3 years warranty also, we can give them free of cost service to our instruments. So that's how it going for us.
That's beautiful. And I would like to ask how where you see Elacons going 5 years from now. Like, what does the future of this company look like to you? I would like to hear that question.
Okay, 5 years. Now it's 5 years. Before that only I'm telling you is now the trend is going into robotic surgeries. So doctors are asking for robotic instruments. So we already started manufacturing them in Germany for robotic instruments. And it is going to go forward with the robotic things. Yeah, and nowadays even everything has gone to ChatGPT, AI version, everything is going. So even in this field, we have to come up with those kind of facilities for the doctors. And I feel my younger son will take up this business. He's doing his BBA in Germany, and he has taken all the subjects in German. He's working on them. And hopefully, he takes over this business. So both my kids are interested in taking up. And the son is a different field. He's into scuba diving and commercial diving. But hopefully he'll also join in the business. Now also he helps us. Both the kids know how to go about the things happening in our business.
So they're aware about.
Yeah, they are totally aware about it.
So I wish you all the very best for the future endeavors of your company. And I would like
Thank
to.
you so much.
Yeah, and I would like to know if someone came up to you and if they're like, I want to build something like this, what advice would you give them?
Sure, they can take up this business. For example, if you take the medical field or the education field, these fields will never go black.
Yeah.
There will always be a till the humans are there in this universe, you need the education and you need the medical facility. And I feel it's a really good service to the humankind, and for the future it will be very good. They can take up this business and children can come and learn new ideas, all lot of new technologies are available. Yeah, they can do it.
So it's very encouraging.
Oh yes, they can do it.
And I would like to tweak that question a little bit and ask a different version. Where, what advice would you give your younger self, like in 1992, we were just about to know everything about this company, just been incorporated. What advice would you give to the younger Sonal auntie? And I would like to hear that.
Yeah, when I got married, I was very young. I just completed my college. And 1990, I finished my education. So I started my teaching and all that before my marriage. And I was enjoying all those things. And then I got into the business, the medical business after marrying uh, in 1992. Yeah, and still I love being with the children, teaching them. Some counseling also comes up like when they advice on what to do or how to go about it.
So, like, what kind of advice would you give someone taking that?
Um, I tell them, take life seriously and your passion and everything which you have to go about in life. Study whatever other passion you have. Like some children have dancing, singing, they have not to give up that and totally concentrate on studies. Plans everything and do it.
That's beautiful. And I have like two more questions and I'll let you go.
Okay.
One of the main questions is that what are the few common like misconceptions that people have when it comes to this industry, or like something which people think which generally bothers you and you want to correct it? Is there any point like that?
Nothing really. Nothing bothers on this. As I was telling, education has to go on till the humans are there in this in the same way. The hospitals also. So without the medical help, you can't go there. So there is no such things that are doing. So the instrumentations are required by the hospitals and they buy them.
So it's pretty strict.
Yeah, yeah.
And this is the last question, and it's I think my favorite question. What had happened recently which made you like genuinely happy, whether let's say even in your professional life or in your personal life or both?
Um, Best part is you get a good night rest. The kind of work you do maintains the good night rest. People don't get that, but we are blessed that we get that. And we're happy with it. You having a good family support, good training with a man, your husband is also very caring, loving. Life goes on. Ups and downs, as I told you, will go on, but you have to face them. Be happy and blessed.
Like any specific happy instances which have occurred to you in recent days?
Happiness is always in the moment, but when my son came from Germany for his holidays in the month of February, we all were together spending good time. It was nice. The kind of food he cannot have or make there, I used to make it here for him. It was good. It was nice time spent with the family.
That's perfect. That's it. That's the note. I feel like that's a perfect note to end at. And Sonal Aunty, thank you so much for doing this. Thank you so much for being so open about all of it. And I have taken away a thing or two from this conversation, and I've gained a lot of insights as well. And I'm pretty sure the people who are watching have also carried a different point of view from before they started watching this when it comes to supply chain and medical operations. And for everyone tuning in, thank you so much, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.